He had money, power, respect, and everything people dream of, yet every night he felt an emptiness he couldn't explain. One day, a simple encounter shattered his belief about success and forced him to face a truth most people discover too late. What if having everything is exactly what makes you feel nothing? This story will change how you define wealth forever. He believed that success was a destination marked by money, recognition, and comfort. From the outside, his life looked perfect. He lived in a beautiful house, wore expensive clothes, and people admired his achievements. Yet, when the noise of the day faded and he was left alone with his thoughts, a strange emptiness followed him. No matter how much he gained, the satisfaction never lasted. Each new achievement gave him a brief sense of pride, but it quickly disappeared, pushing him to chase the next goal. This emptiness grew because his happiness depended entirely on external things. When praise came, he felt alive. When it stopped, he felt lost. His emotions were controlled by outcomes, opinions, and material rewards. Deep inside, he feared slowing down, because silence forced him to confront the truth he had been avoiding. He had built a life that looked full but felt hollow. The story highlights how external success creates a dangerous illusion. It convinces people that more will finally be enough. More money, more status, more achievements. But the heart does not work that way. It needs meaning, not trophies. When life becomes a constant race to prove worth, joy turns into pressure, and peace becomes rare. Over time, he realized that his exhaustion was not physical, but emotional. He was tired of pretending to be fulfilled. The emptiness was a signal, not a failure. It was a reminder that success without self cannot satisfy the soul. The lesson is clear. When happiness is built only on what you have, it will always feel fragile. True fulfillment begins when worth is no longer measured by possessions, but by inner peace and purpose. As his life continued, he began to notice moments that brought a quiet warmth he had never felt from success alone. These moments were simple and easily overlooked. A genuine conversation, a shared laugh, or the feeling of helping someone without expecting anything in return stayed with him longer than any achievement. For the first time, he sensed that fulfillment did not come from being admired, but from being connected. He started to understand that meaning is created through intention, not accumulation. When his actions were driven by purpose rather than reward, his days felt lighter. He no longer measured his worth by how much he gained, but by how present he was in each moment. Gratitude slowly replaced restlessness. Instead of focusing on what was missing, he learned to appreciate what already existed in his life. The story shows that inner richness grows when relationships are valued over recognition. When he listened deeply instead of speaking to impress, bonds became stronger. When he gave time instead of money, he felt genuinely useful. These connections reminded him that life is not meant to be lived alone or rushed through. Meaning grows where attention and care are placed. As his perspective shifted, so did his sense of peace. The constant pressure to prove himself faded. He realized that being fulfilled was not about having more, but about living in alignment with what truly mattered to him. Purpose gave direction to his actions, and connection gave depth to his experiences. Through this change, he discovered a powerful truth. A meaningful life is not defined by how full your hands are, but by how full your heart feels. When purpose and connection guide your choices, inner richness naturally follows, bringing a lasting sense of completeness that no external success can replace. Asterisk, at the turning point of his journey, he realized that his constant pursuit of more was leaving no space for peace. His life was crowded with expectations, comparisons, and self-imposed pressure. Every possession and achievement demanded attention, maintenance, and validation. Instead of serving him, they began to control him. This awareness marked the beginning of letting go, not as a loss, but as a form of freedom. He started releasing the need to impress others and the habit of measuring himself against external standards. When he stopped chasing approval, a quiet calm entered his life. He learned that many of his desires were borrowed, shaped by society rather than his true needs. By questioning what truly mattered, he cleared away the noise that had been clouding his mind. Letting go also meant accepting himself without constant judgment. He allowed space for stillness, reflection, and honesty. In that space, he discovered that fulfillment was not something to be earned through struggle, but something that emerged naturally when the mind was no longer overloaded. Simplicity became a source of strength. With fewer distractions, he could finally focus on what gave him peace. The story teaches that fulfillment is often hidden behind excess. When life is filled with unnecessary wants, the essential things are easily missed. By releasing what was not aligned with his values, he made room for clarity and purpose. Each thing he let go of created space for something deeper to grow. In the end, he understood that emptiness was never caused by lack, but by overload. True fulfillment begins when you stop carrying what you do not need and allow your life to breathe.